I get a lot of questions about how to use a light meter. I'm going to show you really quickly how to do it. I'm sitting in the position that the model would be sitting. That's where my camera should be. In this scenario, my light is up here. What I'm going to do is take this meter. I have it set at a 200th of a second, right? I could have it set at whatever, like 100th of a second, but I have it set at 200th of a second, ISO 100. So I'm telling the meter, my shutter speed is going to be 200ths of a second. My ISO is going to be 100. I'm going to pop this light, and I want you, light meter, to tell me what the aperture should be on my camera so that I know that the exposure will be correct. So I'm going to press this button. I'm going to hold it in front of my face. I'm going to press the button. Now, when I turn it back around, it's saying, yo, if you set your camera to 200ths of a second at ISO 100, then you need to set your aperture at f11 if you want the exposure to be correct. Now, watch. Now, if I take my hand and kind of put it over the top, right? So I do this. No, excuse me. I got to hold that. So if I do this, I now blocked the light from hitting the bulb. So because the light, when I put my hand over, because remember the light's overhead, and I blocked the light, it changed it from f11 to f5.6. And you already know that you need more light for 5.6, right? And at f11, you need less light. You're basically saying the environment that you're in is less bright. So you're gonna have to go down to 5.6 or open up to 5.6 so that you can allow more light to come in if you want to correct exposure. Very similarly, if I were to put my hand over the bulb, so I press the button and I put my hand over the bulb, right? Now it's at f2, right? So I move my hand, it's at f11, I put my hand over it, it's at f2. Now the same thought can go all the way to back here. So if I know f11 is for me, then I do this, and I know that the background's 5/6. So the background's 5/6, that means that somewhere around here is at f8, and then somewhere around here where my subject is at f11. So I know that the background is going to be darker, because if 5.6 is the correct exposure on the background, then I gotta believe that by the time that light hits my subject up here and it's supposed to be at f11, if I shoot at 5.6, they're gonna be super overexposed. On the opposite side, when I shoot my subject at f11, which is the correct exposure for the model, the background's gonna be dark because the background's saying it needs to be at 5.6 to be exposed correctly. Okay.